What's happening, my people? How y'all doing? If you're not knowing, if you're new to the channel, my name is Joseph R. Wheeler III. I am the artist, the founder, and the president of the ONYXCON Foundation. Again, I am the artist, founder, and president on this presidential day. I wasn't going to get too much into politics because we are a nonprofit arts and creative lifestyle organization. And as a 501c3 nonprofit, they say that nonprofits are to avoid political promotion of candidates and parties, et cetera, et cetera. But I always like to start off and say at some point in any of my programming, for the most part, I tend to say this. I say, views and opinions expressed by yours truly do not necessarily reflect those of ONYXCON, its affiliates, associates, sponsors, etc. Okay? All right. Just so we're on the same page. First of all, let's make that clear. Second of all, I am an individual. And as an individual who hosts, edits, promotes my content, etc., I have my own points of view on things. And I have my legal right to express myself on how I feel about different things. I will speak from a standpoint of an artist. I will stand on the standpoint of being a citizen who is concerned about the well-being of the nation I live in and the nation I was born into. So with that said, for me and my main objective, whenever I mention anything that might be viewed as political or whatever, is to just simply share information with the hopes that people make rational decisions. And most importantly, one thing I definitely can do as a nonprofit-based organization leader is say, make sure you do vote. Because I'm gonna be real with you. Now, this is where it gets into the personal. It is political, but at the same time, this particular election is beyond politics, people. This right now, this today, this situation, the importance of what is going on and the issues that are pending, this is literally like no other election in my lifetime. And I've been here for a good, strong 40-something years, okay? This particular election, this particular presidential election is literally, like I said, I'm gonna speak artistically. We're gonna see how truly aware and how much wisdom my audience has for the past. Whew. Yo, pardon the long gap, y'all, in the comeback, but if you're new to the channel, this is how we do here. We do the side hustles to the main hustle. And we feature it all as showing y'all what this art life is like. Some folks only want to show you the good times. They don't want to show you the hard work that led to it. You know what I'm saying? When I go on my vlogs, y'all gonna appreciate mine, because I took you for me when I was in the ride, dropping these damn packages. See all this stuff? You know what I'm saying? Like, I want you to know what it is. I want you to know what a lot of people have to do to get. I mean, it ain't even no mystery to some people, but I know that there's so many people fronting that I think it helps. I think it truly helps to showcase the variety of things that people do to stay afloat. And then, I have an international audience too, so like a lot of times when I've been abroad and I tell people, like, they think, people get the perception that Americans are all rich or doing so well. I'm like, yo, it's beautiful that the dollar can stretch in some places. But even with that, you better have enough or you will stretch out. I've been in places where you was like, oh, snap. Wait a minute. I need this refund on this Airbnb. If I don't get that by tomorrow, oh, dang, I don't want to hit the credit card with that, but then I'm going to have to. So now you're in more debt, and you come back. Now you're in a problem that you didn't expect because you wasn't trying to put that much on the credit card, and you was trying to use whatever. It gets real sticky, y'all. It gets real sticky. So no, I like to show all of these parts of life and how it really works out here to make a living and to keep going and to live your dreams. So and be an inspiration for the next person doing what I'm doing, because You know, if you got a dream, if you are a YouTuber, if you got anything like that that requires time and people supporting it, if for nothing else, yo, hit that like button right now and subscribe just for that, because you can relate to that. You know what I mean? You can understand this. When I say art life, I mean the whole life, not just the art itself. The life you got to live to do the art. You know what I mean? That's what we talking about. That's what we talking about. The stuff you got to do that you don't want to have to do to get by, and all of those stuff. Like, to share with people those realities, it keeps all the misinformation at a low, which is so important in this time, in this reality. I mean, with AI doing what it can do, I mean, good and bad, but mostly a lot of people using it for horrible things because they love to push misinformation. So I like to be, you know, part of the antidote, not more of the problem. You feel me? So anyway, you may have noticed here on the channel, as of late, if you watch our Busting Pixels content, which is the element of ONYXCON that is gaming and all things related to gaming and interactive gameplay, etc., computer games, etc., whatever. I've been playing a lot of chess, which I love. I love chess. Chess. Yes, indeed. CHESS, which came from, if you didn't know, all started with a game from ancient Kemet, Egypt. Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to NewbieAware, by the way. This is NewbieAware, supporter of ONYXCON. Big up to them. Y'all know all I love is fitteds, and I will wear a strap back, but I love them fitteds. That's what I like. So shout out to NewbieAware. But yeah, the game of chess started in ancient Egypt, in Kemet. And it was a much simpler game that led to the game we know. The one we know is the Europeanized version of a previous version that would have came through the Middle East, and prior to that, straight from Kemet. And it was known as Senet or Senat. I've never been officially sure exactly which way you would pronounce that, but the way it's spelled, and there's two spellings. There's one is S-E-N-E-T and another one is S-E-N-A-T. So I like Senat. It just, something about that rings like it's proper. So Senat or Senet. But that was the name of the game. And it was a symbolic game too. It was, I mean, everything in ancient Egypt was very symbolic, and this was no different. Yes, it was still a game of strategy, reflecting a war and a battlefield, but it was nothing but pawns. And it was only, if I am not mistaken, I think it's like only 2 rows of checker marks, and it was still checkered. It was, you know, white and black blocks or whatever, darker color, lighter color blocks. And the game sets, it came in with a little box that you could put the pieces in, and you played on the top of the box. And this was, you know, something that was created by my ancient ancestors in Africa, straight up. Very proud to say. Yeah. And we're getting some love in the building. Whoever that is, subscribers representing, I appreciate you. But yeah, so, you know, it's a very ancient game. And so I love to play chess, and I've been posting a lot of my games that I play on an app called Chess with Friends. So when you see those posts, that's what that is. It's just me relaying my best wins, of course, because I ain't gonna even front. Boy, I be getting schooled over there a little bit most of the time. I ain't gonna even front. It's the whole world playing. When I say the whole world, like I played people in Russia, Indonesia, India, Pakistan, where else? The other day I was playing somebody from Germany. Any country you could name. Of course, the U.S., naturally, England. I played people from everywhere on there, and there's some serious players. I always knew with the history of chess masters and folks who go to competitions. Of course, we got legends here in the U.S. We got a lot of black chess masters, matter of fact. Straight up, salute to that. Always. We're going to always acknowledge our people here, y'all. That's just what time it is, you know. You're in the wrong house if you got a problem with people loving themselves. We're going to do that over here. But, yeah, they got a lot of folks on there from, like, you know, Russia, Ukraine, parts of the Middle East, Iran, Iraq. And I know for a fact, folks in the Middle East, hardcore. I mean, one of my favorite buddies I used to play chess with, elder gentleman who probably is an ancestor by now, but I used to work with senior citizens, and he was from Iran, and Mr. Khatami, Muhammad Khatami, that was my brother. I used to work at this senior center, and Mr. Khatami was hilarious. He was the most hilarious, great personality. He was so friendly. He's cool with everybody, whether they were cool with him or not, because, you know, it was a senior center on a mostly rich white side of town. A lot of them folk, I know some of them would be on some real racist BS and assuming that he owns some stuff because they own some, believing all the hype, thinking that all Muslim people are terrorists and all this kind of nonsense. I used to hate that, because that ain't nothing but just hate culture and fear factor, and it ain't got nothing to do with truth. Just, you know, get to know somebody and you realize, oh, I've been sold a whole bunch of BS. Like, yes, there's people who are extremists everywhere, and an extremist is an extremist, but this is an individual who ain't never had nothing to do with it. Matter of fact, I'll never forget him teasing me one day, because he would speak part in Farsi and then in English. Farsi is the language, one of the languages in Iran, and technically Persian. And so, yeah, I had my beard kind of like what I got right now. I had the same goatee more or less, but it was probably about this length. And because it was getting low, he reached out and he told me, you have to cut. I said, why I gotta cut I ain't cutting my goatee. He said, yes, you have to cut. You look like the, and he named this group. And I looked him up and I realized it was a group that was kind of like the Taliban there. And I was like, wow. So, you know, it's like, people get this perception, like, because of the way the news be, it'll make it sound like everybody in the country is with a certain way of thinking and a certain problem if they got extreme groups. No, that's what I hate about all this extreme stuff going on here with certain people rocking red caps and talking about putting folk basically in slavery again or something. You know, I mean, let me not even say it like that. Let me just straight up say what they be saying. You know, you gonna literally close off borders? And what are you talking about? The whole country is immigrants. The entire United States of America. And people who were brought here against their will and forced into labor. And they're trying to take that out of schools. They don't want the truth told. No more critical race theory. These fools trying to take it. Man, extremism, this is how it be good. This is how it happens. But anyway, my friend was a real one. He was a good guy. And he used to, like I said, you teased me about that, but you know, I knew his soul, and he was a good guy. He was a really good man, really fun dude to play chess with too. And I never forget, every time I would almost beat him, because he was good, we would almost go, it would always be like him, me. He win, I win. And then one time playing chess, I was beating him so good, he started grabbing my pieces. I was like, what you doing? That's my piece. No, you're cheating, you cheat. I said, I ain't cheating, you cheating. We would laugh about it, because he know he was cheating. He try and act like I'm so old and see now I don't know what I'm doing. I was like, no, you know what you're doing. You moving my pawn.